Nice week throwing the ball. 4 touchdown throws. It's the Saints that...
The first of 2 on this Monday night. The Saints and Panthers underway from Charlotte. Fighting his way through contact. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by one of the most productive QBs in the last decade. It's year 10 for the Fresno Stater now. Here's Derek Carr.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers, and hopefully what something last week resolves itself this time around.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
On second down, here's Carr. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. A man coming off an 1,100-yard campaign last year. Here's Travis Etienne. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3-and-out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, where was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that and fast.
So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead-up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in Week 1. With 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
The numbers for Gibbs from last week. 9 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20-plus. Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. The Saints at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
Christian Watson, the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. You look at this Carolina defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
We know it's only Week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going. Love the play call that time. Love the design. You put 3 tight ends on the field. That screams jumbo set, running formation to a defense, right? No, they go play action, and defense gets confused for just a split second. And next thing you know, completion for good yardage. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To the air again, Fields. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now Fields. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Luke Musgrave with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Oh, some strong running. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. A costly mistake there in the return game, and that is not how you want to answer an opening touchdown.
Yeah, and your defense is asking you a lot of questions right now because you're already down 7-0. You turn the ball over, they've got to go right back out there to try and keep it from getting to 14-0.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. His throw incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play because if they get the stop and hold him to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Here we go.
Gibbs will score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So here are the Saints to take over. They were winners last week over Tennessee, and they've got the lead here as well. They start this drive out first and 10.
Go.
Now it's Fields. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play they went over 20 yards. This time they topped 30.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on first and 10. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Zay Flowers, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take a 3-touchdown lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
St. Brown motioning left. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. On now the former Vol, Michael Pilardi. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Take it at the 37. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Fields on first down. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Now here's Fields on the sneak, and I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up 3rd down.
They'll try to run with Gibbs. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jahmyr Gibbs. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Saints are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it is 28-0. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. There's a short throw taken in by Bryant. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. That time multiple defenders getting pressure. And it's a loss of 6. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. To the left side, there's the tight end Musgrave. And he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Here we go.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before the break. Fields under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Pay attention. Pay attention. Here we go. Good.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Right.
A final shot before break. Fields. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very... Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the 3rd quarter here. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now the Saints going to take over on offense to begin this 3rd quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Play action. It's Fields. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off play action. Fields. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And did he get in? No! They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 49 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. To throw is Fields. Touchdown, Saints. Albert Okuwebunam. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's Carr to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a first down.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Taken in at the 22. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints coming out now to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. Here's Fields. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Here we go, Ty.
At the 7-yard line.
All right.
Here's Fields. And it's caught. And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Here we go. Let's go. Go.
They'll run with Gibbs. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it is 42-0. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 25 yards that time.
Here we go.
Counter play. Here's Gibbs. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights? That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw, extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us. Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
They snap it to Fields. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires, and the Panthers will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The Panthers on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Yeah, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here we go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw caught by Musgrave. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it. And it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Is that all right?
On 3rd down, here's Gibbs. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. 4th down, a give to Gibbs. Fighting through. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they find a way to convert there on 4th and 6. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yards. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. That sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2. Fields trying to throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you yeah, it's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of moment.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it, fumbled. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they've got it just 2 yards away from the end zone. They'll have it 1st and goal here from the 2-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Gibbs straight ahead.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw.